Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
The brutal beating of a child is caught on camera, and tonight we're learning about a lawsuit not on behalf of the victim, but rather one of the attackers. Thanks for joining us here for the News at 6. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Devin Skillian. A story we've been following for months now. Violence among patients of Michigan's only state-run psychiatric hospital for children.
Investigative reporter Karen Drew first broke this story, and she joins us with the new details. Karen.
Well, this is the video that we're talking about, that attack. A 10-year-old boy brutally beaten at the Hawthorne Center. Now, this happened in October, caught on video, and now the family of the teenage girl who beat him is the one suing the state. It's the second lawsuit over the same violent attack.
The video is hard to watch. A 10-year-old boy chased down and then stomped on and kicked in the head by a 15-year-old girl. This happened while both children were residential patients under the care of the State Department of Health and Human Services at the Walter Reuther State Psychiatric Hospital. The state's juvenile psych patients were moved to Walter Reuther Hospital in Westland, while a new state facility for children is being built. Inside, older and younger kids are separated by locked security doors. But on October 18th, you can see employees opened a door which allowed the older girl into the younger children's area, where she attacked a boy by the name of Princeton.
For several seconds, she stomps and beats Princeton. She knocks his tooth up into his gum. Princeton has some brain damage behind this based on a brain imaging study.
On behalf of Princeton's family, attorney Arnold Reed filed a lawsuit against the state in February. And last week, another lawsuit was filed, this time on behalf of the girl's family. The legal complaint says Hawthorne employees knew about the teen girl's history of aggression, yet they instigated, encouraged, and allowed her to engage in a physical altercation with the younger boy. And the complaint says the October incident is not the first time the girl was used as security for staff, abusing their position of power and exploiting the girl's emotional instability and mental health condition. Over the phone, the girl's mom told Local 4 that state employees manipulated her daughter into the role of enforcer with the other children. The girl's mother described the hospital as a miniature fight club where her daughter was used as a pawn. And after 2 years there, the mom said her daughter came out of the Hawthorne Center even more traumatized than she was when she was admitted to the hospital.
Now, in an email this morning, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, which runs the hospital, said it just received the litigation and is still reviewing it. The state added that as a result of an investigation into the incident, one employee was dismissed, one resigned, and another was suspended and has returned to work. The lawsuit is seeking an undisclosed sum of multiple millions of dollars. We posted that new legal complaint on clickondetroit.com so people can check it out.
So how are those children doing now? Do we know?
Your heart breaks for this.
Sure.
I mean, they're the victims so many times. The mother of the girl says that her daughter is in another facility right now. Obviously, she's dealing with the trauma, her initial trauma,
of course,
and then of this attack. And she feels terrible for the fact that she did take part in that beating. She's apologizing to the family. But, you know, you've got to deal with all that. And I just talked to a lawmaker. I was running into him in an event the other day. And he goes, now remember, we still have that audit on the facility because there's some issues on the kids being fed properly.
Right,
so there's a lot going on there, and we are not going to let it go.
Life is already so hard for these parents to begin with, right?
No. It's hard to make that decision to put your child in that facility, and then this happens.
Yeah. All right, Karen. Well, this morning brought the first court appearance of the woman accused of driving drunk and hitting and killing 2 children and injuring several other people at a birthday party in Monroe County. What was supposed to be a simple arraignment became much more than that when family members of those children started speaking. Victor Williams takes us through an emotional hearing.
You know, you have just so many people heartbroken by this situation, and it's clearly evident by all of this that you see right here, this memorial that continues to grow for the victims. We're finally getting a look at all the charges that this woman is now facing.
They were sitting at that table eating, and this woman crashed her car through this building, destroying all of our lives.
66-year-old Marcella Chaddister is now facing 8 charges in connection to the Swan Boat Club tragedy that took place this past weekend when she allegedly drove an SUV through the side of a boat club during a children's birthday party, allegedly while under the influence of alcohol. Turns out she lives just a few doors down from the incident. One boat club member says he sees her on a regular basis.
Well, most of the time I see her, she's been highly intoxicated.
The mother of the victims, now identified as Mariah Dodd, and her 3 kids were attending the party when the SUV came out of nowhere. 2 siblings, 4-year-old Zane and 8-year-old Alana, passed away. An older sibling broke both of his legs, several ribs, and now has a fractured skull.
My brother is in the hospital right now. Right now his little boy comes through, and he still got to tell his son that he lost his sister and brother.
Mariah herself broke 6 ribs and has a collapsed lung with several other injuries as well.
I had to be the one to tell my sister her babies were gone when they removed her ventilator yesterday. She said, "How am I supposed to live without my babies?"
Now, Chester's attorney is insisting that she only had 1 drink at the bar and had an epileptic seizure, which led to that crash taking place. She's due back in court on the 30th. Victor Williams.
So heartbreaking. All right, Victor.
A 21-year-old man is behind bars tonight in Macomb County after being found with pills and 15 debit cards with names different than his. Police responded to 7 Lakes Drive in Washington Township around 8 last night after getting calls about a man walking around and acting unusual. Police say Jesse Weber was unsteady on his feet when they arrived. When officers searched him, they found the pills, the cards, and also a large kitchen knife. He faces several drug charges and a weapons charge.
We draw very, very close now to the start of the NFL draft right here in downtown Detroit.
One of the biggest events in all of sports kicks off just about 2 days from now. And today, that big theater and stage the players are going to walk across is complete.
It is massive. I'm not sure video does it justice until you see it in person. Sean Lay's been doing that all day. He's got a closer look at it. Sean?
Boy, they better have all this stuff anchored down. The wind is howling out here. But look, we're in Campus Martius, and I wanted to give you a nice wide look at what's happening down here. It's so exciting, and it seems like Detroit was made to host the draft. Way over there. We've been watching that be built over the last 3.5 weeks. That's the theater where the names will be called. Players' lives will be changed. But let me show you. It's absolutely spectacular. However, here, I want to bring the kids down. So many families want to come down. We've got double fencing here. So how do you negotiate your way in, and where can you see once you get in? Here's the stage. Absolutely phenomenal. What a beautiful piece of work that they did here in just about 3 weeks. This is where the players will be called. I've always wondered, who are those fans in the front with their jerseys on? Well, they're actually handpicked by the team in the NFL as super fans. So longtime season ticket holders. The Lions had the first 5 chairs right in front of the podium where Roger Goodell will announce that #1 pick and so on. Here's what I learned today, however. It seems like such a buttoned up, secure area. However, it's secure, but if you go there, you can get in, and anything outside of the theater, right where the theater ends, is open to the public. You just have to get here very, very soon to come down, but that's how you can get in. It can hold several thousand people, but I think if you show up at 8 o'clock when the draft is supposed to start, it's kind of hard to get in there. You also have to have the One Pass on your phone. That's very easy to download, so it's a big look here, but it's just spectacular how this is all coming together, and there's a way to get in, to get close to the stage. Guys?
Got it, Sean. In fact, we had to download the pass ourselves because our next draft note is we hope you'll join us tomorrow night as we go live from the draft here in downtown Detroit for our all-in draft special. Join us tomorrow night live from downtown at 8 p.m.
They're not even letting us in without downloading the app.
Right.
All right, let's get you caught up on your forecast. As Sean said, the wind whipping out there, Kim, and we've got some rain that you're tracking too.
Yeah, just a little bit of rain. Is light. It's nothing that's really going to affect them putting things up, but the wind is definitely kicking, as you saw from Sean's live shot there. We've had wind gusts today over 35 miles per hour, and that wind continues tonight and through the day tomorrow. We are tracking some showers mainly down to our south in parts of Monroe County. That's where the heaviest rain is. But as we zoom in on downtown Detroit, aside from a sprinkle here and there, it's pretty much dry now in Warren, Hamtramck, Oak Park, Dearborn, and in Melvindale. So the heaviest rain will stay to our south, but if you're driving along I-75 down through Monroe and to the Ohio border, you will run into some pockets of fairly heavy rainfall. That rain continues for Toledo over to Sandusky. But back at home, temps are a little cooler than normal. 51 in Detroit, 54 in Mount Clemens and Pontiac, and 54 up in Port Huron. Here's a look at the highest wind gusts over the last 24 hours. We've had a 39-mile-per-hour gust out at Metro Airport, and in downtown Detroit, winds have been around 30 to 35 miles per hour, but one gust at City Airport reached 37 miles per hour. So tomorrow will be another breezy day, winds out of the north. It will be chilly with our high reaching 51. Thursday, a freeze watch is in effect as temps will be in the 20s and low 30s. But then for the weekend, we go all the way back into the 70s, and we have some rain to talk about. We'll do all of it coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Kim. Poor air quality takes a toll on your lungs, of course, but also more than that. It's really on your overall health.
While we think of pollution as smoke pouring out of a factory smokestack, experts say there are lots of other sources, both outside and even inside our homes. Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with a closer look. Doc.
Well, you know, Kim and Devin, when the air quality is poor, we definitely see more people in the ER that are suffering from breathing problems. But pollution can also cause damage over time, raising the risk of many other serious illnesses, including lung cancer, breast cancer, and heart disease.
Anything you inhale is going to get into the body in some way and can potentially cause problems.
Pollution can irritate the lungs, causing asthma, coughing, and wheezing, but it can also cause inflammation in the body.
We have a really strong link, unfortunately, between air pollution and heart disease. And during the wildfire season, for example, we see these spikes in basically heart attacks and strokes.
Dr. Maeve McMurdo is a pulmonologist at the Cleveland Clinic. She says air pollution comes from many sources.
Traffic is a major driver, so traffic-related air pollution we worry about a lot. But things like industry, any kind of construction industry is going to drive air pollution. And then things that are outside of our control, like wildfire smoke, like controlled burns, agricultural dust.
While we can't personally control the air outside, we can reduce pollution in our homes.
If you have an indoor air purifier, a HEPA air purifier, so things like turning on your range hood when you're cooking, because cooking releases a lot of air pollution. You may not think about that. Not burning scented candles, avoiding things like wood fires inside the house.
McMurdo says everyone should pay attention to air quality alerts and reduce your time outside when the risk is higher.
People weren't thinking about it for a long time. You kind of saw it, maybe went, okay, the air quality is bad. But I think people are realizing more and more that actually it can impact their health.
Now, air pollution can be harmful to anyone, but it's especially bad for children, older adults, and anyone with lung disease or other chronic health conditions. Those people, of course, should take extra precautions when the air quality is poor.
Now, I know we report when there's an air quality alert. Is that something that people should be checking for routinely?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's a super important thing, especially if you are in a high-risk group. In fact, the EPA also has a free app. It's called Air Now that you can use to check on the current air quality index and the predicted air quality. Just search the EPA Air Now or for EPA Air Now in the App Store.
Very good. Okay, Dr. McGeorge.
Thanks so much.